Are you always tired of your teacher saying, what goes at the end of a sentence? Is it a period? Is it a question mark? Is it an exclamation point? Well, in this story, Punctuation Takes a Vacation. I'm going to show you why punctuation is kind of a big deal. Day after day, the punctuation marks showed up in Mr. Wright's classroom. Day after day, they did their jobs. Question mark, period. They put up with being erased and replaced and corrected and ignored and moved around. Then, on the hottest day the class had ever seen, right in the middle of a lesson about commas, Mr. Wright mopped his forehead and said, "Oh, let's give punctuation a vacation." As the kids cheered and headed for the playground to cool off, the punctuation marks stared at one another in disbelief. "Is this the thanks we get?" asked a question mark. "Well," huffed an exclamation point. Now, said a comma. "We should take a vacation," said a period. "They'll soon learn how much they need us." "It's 11 o'clock now," said a colon. "Let's leave at 11:02. "Great," said an exclamation point. "Don't leave without us," yelled the apostrophes. Whoosh! Punctuation rushed out the door. Whoosh! They rushed back in to grab the quotation marks, who were too busy talking to pay attention. When Mr. Wright's class returned from the playground, they couldn't wait to find out what happened in Chapter 4 of their book, Ace Scooper, Dog Detective. Mr. Wright opened his mouth to read aloud, but then he stopped and stared. "This is weird. The punctuation is missing. Uh-oh, where could it be? Yikes, maybe punctuation took a vacation. We are in big trouble now." Mr. Wright was right. Nothing made sense without punctuation. A couple days later, the school secretary delivered a small bundle of postcards to Mr. Wright's class. They were postmarked, "Take a break, Lake." "Do you miss us? How much? Why couldn't we take a vacation sooner? Guess who?" We flop, we plop, we stop, we stay put in our lounge chairs. We are happy thinking our complete thoughts. Thoughtfully yours. Sentence stoppers. Oh, and here's another one. Dear friends, swimming, sailing, sunning, soaring, water skiing. Next time we must remember bug spray, toothpaste, flashlight, water shoes. Sincerely, list makers. We just learned about those commas. Greetings to Mr. Wright's class. This postcard doesn't take the place of a letter. If anybody takes the place of a letter, that's us. It's our job. We know we're possessive, but that's the way we are. Don't forget us while we're gone. Substitutes. Like that apostrophe in our contractions. A big hello from Vacation Paradise, where the water is as clear as a well-punctuated sentence. We talk all day. We talk all night. Too busy talking to write any more. The yakety yaks. And there's some quotation marks. Here's more. Kids, writing this on schedule at 1:15. Yummy lunch at 11:55. Going swimming at 3:sharp. The timekeepers. That's what those two little dots are called. They're called colons. Wow, what a ride! You should try tubing! Scary! Fun! Yikes! Hold on! We want Mommy! Emotional us. Those are like exclamation points. The kids guessed who wrote the postcards, and they wanted to write back, but they couldn't write without punctuation. The best they could do was borrow some from Mr. Rongo's class next door, where punctuation seemed to be running wild. Dear, punctuation, please come. Back, we need you. We miss you too. Life at school is difficult without you. We can't do reading, writing, or riddles without punctuation. Chapter 4 of our book, Ace Scooper, doesn't make sense. We will never take punctuation for granted again. Won't you please come back before 10 on Friday? Mr. Wright says, punctuation, please come home. Sincerely, Mr. Wright's class. And look at all those punctuation mistakes. Punctuation, take a break, lake. Urgent, hurry. So the punctuation marks returned to Mr. Wright's classroom to do the jobs only they could do. Mr. Rongo's unruly punctuation scrambled back to their own classroom. We have so much to tell you. Who did you miss the most? It's good to be back in Mr. Wright's class. Commas, periods, exclamation points, question marks, colons, apostrophes, quotation marks. Take your places. 10 a.m. Time to study us. And now you see why we're never going to stop asking you what goes at the end of a sentence.